A matte black G-Wagon glides down Rodeo Drive. Tinted windows, 22-inch wheels, glossy paint that reflects the California sun like glass. It doesn't speed or swerve. It cruises, slow and steady, demanding attention. On the surface, it's just a car, but in Hollywood, that car means everything. It tells people you've made it, without ever saying a word. And here's the twist. The person driving it isn't even an A-list celebrity. It's an influencer with a decent following, maybe a few brand deals. But the moment they step out, cameras flash, people stare. Because in Los Angeles, driving a G-Wagon is more than transportation, it's validation. So how did this bulky, box-shaped SUV become the ultimate celebrity status symbol? Why are A-listers, billionaires, and reality stars all obsessed with a vehicle that looks like a throwback from the Cold War? To answer that, we have to go back, not to a red carpet, but to a place far less glamorous, a place where the G-Wagon was never meant to be famous. The G-Wagon wasn't born in luxury, it was born for survival. In the late 1970s, Mercedes Benz developed the original Geländewagen, which literally translates to terrain vehicle, after a request from the Shah of Iran. He wanted a vehicle that could perform in brutal off-road conditions, something capable of enduring war zones and conflict-ridden terrain. Mercedes delivered, creating a vehicle with rigid axles, body-on-frame construction, and all-wheel drive. It was stripped of comfort, built for harsh environments, and sold mostly to militaries. Let's be clear, this is not a glamorous origin story. War is never something to glorify. The G-Wagon's early life was spent in places filled with violence, not beauty. It wasn't designed to entertain or impress, it was designed to survive. That uncomfortable truth makes its current popularity all the more bizarre, because somehow, a vehicle once used in military convoys is now sitting in gated driveways in Beverly Hills. The original G-Wagon became available to civilians in 1979, but it remained rare and rugged for decades. Mercedes had no plans to push it in the US market. It was too niche, too rough, and too expensive. But something happened that Mercedes didn't expect. Celebrities started asking for it, not just because it was rare, but because it was different. Arnold Schwarzenegger reportedly had one imported before it was officially sold in the US. Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and other rappers started featuring G-Wagons in music videos. Slowly, the car began to shift from military tool to luxury icon. Seeing the trend, Mercedes changed course. Instead of discontinuing the G-Wagon, they doubled down. They added leather interiors, infotainment systems, and AMG engines. The same vehicle that once had no air conditioning was now pushing 600 horsepower and cost well over $150,000. But while the tech and performance evolved, the shape didn't. The boxy silhouette, flat body panels, and upright stance stayed exactly the same. Why? Because that was the identity. That was the appeal. In Hollywood, the G-Wagon became more than a car. It became armor. The doors shut with a heavy thud. The ride felt solid and commanding, and the view from the driver's seat gave you a sense of control. For people constantly being photographed, judged, and followed, that control was priceless. Celebrities loved how it felt, but even more, they loved how it looked. Kylie Jenner got her first G-Wagon at 17. Since then, she's had multiple, including one wrapped in bright pink. Kim Kardashian has been spotted in at least 6 different ones. Travis Scott, Drake, Justin Bieber, the list goes on. The G-Wagon became the car you owned once you made it. Not because it was practical, but because it was unmistakable. And then came the imitators. As social media exploded, influencers began using G-Wagons as props. Some rented them for a day just to pose in front of them. Others used fake fiberglass body kits to make ordinary SUVs look like G-Wagons. Car rental services in Los Angeles even began advertising G-Wagons as Instagram-ready. It didn't matter whether you owned it, just being seen with one was enough. Mercedes noticed, and they embraced it. They released ultra-rare models like the G63 AMG 6x6, a 6-wheeled beast originally designed for military use, but reworked into a $1 million civilian toy. Only 100 were made. Celebrities snapped them up instantly. By now, the G-Wagon had evolved into a full-blown cultural symbol. It wasn't about driving anymore. It was about status. But what made the G-Wagon really take off was how it looked, especially in pictures. Its flat surfaces, squared-off edges, and vertical grille made it perfect for social media. Unlike curvy SUVs or futuristic crossovers, the G-Wagon looked powerful from every angle. Park it outside a luxury boutique or in front of a mansion, and the message was clear: you had arrived. In fact, some reality TV producers admitted to leasing G-Wagons just to park them in the background of scenes. They didn't care if the cast actually drove them. All that mattered was the image. Viewers saw the car and assumed wealth. Crazy, right? Now, getting your hands on one? That's another story. Today, buying a G-Wagon isn't as easy as walking into a dealership. In many cities, there are long wait lists. Some dealers won't even let you place an order unless you're a returning customer or buying multiple other vehicles. Others slap on tens of thousands of dollars in markups just for the privilege. In some cases, even cash isn't enough. You need connections. There are stories of people name-dropping producers or celebrities just to test drive one. There's even speculation that some buyers flip their new G-Wagons immediately, knowing the resale value is inflated due to scarcity. The car has become so exclusive that owning one isn't just a financial statement, it's a social one. And still, despite its fuel consumption, outdated ergonomics, and sky-high price tag, the demand continues to rise. In 2023, the G-Class was the most frequently spotted luxury SUV among celebrities in Los Angeles, even ahead of Teslas and Range Rovers. That's no accident. The G-Wagon isn't competing on logic, it's competing on identity. Even when Mercedes redesigned the G-Wagon in 2018, the first major overhaul in 40 years, they changed almost everything inside: suspension, infotainment, comfort, even drivability. But the exterior, practically untouched, because Mercedes knew that what they were selling wasn't innovation, it was image. The G-Wagon isn't just a car anymore. It's a brand, a symbol, a badge. It represents control in a world of chaos, exclusivity in a sea of sameness. And above all, it represents visibility. You can't drive a G-Wagon and blend in, but that's the point. And yet, behind all the glamour and clout, its origin still lingers. The G-Wagon began as a tool for survival in the harshest conditions imaginable. It was a product of war, of conflict, of global instability. And while it has since been transformed into a luxury item, we shouldn't forget where it came from. There's something ironic, maybe even uncomfortable, about a vehicle designed for soldiers now being used to ferry influencers to Erewhon, a former weapon, now a fashion statement, a symbol of destruction, turned symbol of success. But in Hollywood, symbolism is everything, and for the last 2 decades, no car has carried more symbolic weight than the G-Wagon. It doesn't matter if it's the most efficient. It doesn't matter if it's the most advanced. What matters is how it makes people feel, what it represents. And in a city built on appearances, the G-Wagon represents one thing better than anything else: power. Do you ever see yourself owning a G-Wagon in the future? Let us know down below, and also what car we should cover next. We are a new channel and looking to produce the best car content out there for you all.